All right, everybody, so it's almost the end of the day, but we can't go without a file backup and recovery tip of the day. So what we're going to cover today is how to create a new backup rule. And we're going to do it today through the Backup Analyzer, but in a video that I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to create a backup rule through the standard configuration view over here on the left. So you can do it either place. I personally think it's easier to create backup rules or exclusion rules through the Backup Analyzer, but partners can do it in either place. They have the exact same effect. Again, as part of the standard configuration, most of the work has already been done for our partners, but they can certainly modify their standard configurations, add new ones. They can have as many as they would like. And it's all determined based on these backup or exclusions rules. So an exclusion rule just says that we're going to create a rule that excludes rules from backup rather than actually backing a particular file or location up. So to do this, I'm going to go into the Backup Analyzer. I expect my backup to be done running tomorrow. I had my computer off all last night. And I'm going to run the Backup Analyzer. So the first thing we're going to look at is notice that right now this computer is using, let me rerun the analysis quick here. We are using the standard configuration that came with this solution out of the box. And again, partners can create brand new configurations. They could have 20 or 30. It's completely up to them. But right now I'm using our standard configuration. And that standard configuration has found 4,640 files to back up, comprising 18.4 gigabytes. Now what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to create a rule to exclude all JPEGs from backup. Right now that's obviously part of our standard configuration, but I'm going to create what we call a file extension rule that excludes JPEGs. So to do that, I'm going to go and find any JPEG that's currently marked for backup. So you can see I have a whole bunch here. I have no idea what they are. But keep in mind, again, 18.4 gigs, 4,640 files currently marked for backup. Now I'm going to go and click on this minus side next to any .jpg. Now by default, when you do that, it creates a rule for you that if I click at it here, you're going to see that the rule it actually creates is for an exclusion rule for this specific file. So it's the exact file path and file name for this file. So if I say save, it's only going to create a rule to not back this specific file up. So we don't want to do that. I actually want to say I don't want any JPEGs to be backed up. So I'm going to actually cancel this. And there's this button here that says convert this rule to an extension rule. When I do that, it changes it so that now any .jpg will not get backed up. Now by default, it's going to apply this rule only to this computer, but I actually want to apply it to my standard configuration. So I'm going to click this button. So it says apply to standard configuration, and then you have to select the rule set. And I'm just going to put it in my exclusion rule set and click OK. Do not back this up and click save. So just like that, we added a rule to our standard configuration, this configuration that this computer is using, to not back up .jpgs. Now you can see there's this big red bar here that says, hey, your audit's no longer current because you changed your configuration. So if you rerun this analysis, again, remember how many files we had backed up previously. When I rerun this, what you're now going to see is it's going to apply the new configuration to the analysis. And I would expect there to be less data getting marked for backup because we're no longer backing up .jpgs or JPEGs. And there you go. We went from about 4,600 files to 4,100, and from 18-ish gigabytes to 17.7 gigabytes. And if I go down here, you're going to see there's no longer any JPEGs here. Now, what did that do to the configuration? Again, you can change and add rules to the backup configuration either from your analyzer or directly through your configuration. So I'm going to go here, and just to show you what the impact was of that rule we just created, if I click View or Edit and scroll down, again, we created an exclusions rule. So there's a whole bucket of exclusions rules. I added it to the SAH Tech exclusion rule set. And there's that rule that we just generated. So again, tomorrow I'm going to show you how you could create a rule directly through this view, but I also think it's really easy to create rules through the Backup Analyzer and apply them to the standard configuration. The last thing that I want to note is because I added this to a standard configuration, any computer that's using this SAH Tech standard configuration will get that same rule that I just created. So if I'm using this configuration on 1,000 computers, all 1,000 computers just got an exclusion rule added to not back up JPEGs. So play around with it. It's a cool tool. It shows you kind of the power of the Backup Analyzer and the rules engine. Tomorrow I'll show you how to go ahead and create rules directly through your backup configuration view. Thank you.